With the Switch 2 now being on the horizon, that is, if the state of this country doesn't delay it, I thought it'd be fit to look back at my favorite games with the Switch 1. The Switch was the most time I've ever put into a console, although I was a bit late to the generation. I got one when the Switch Lite came out. Anyways, without further delaying it, these are my favorite Switch games. Okay, maybe one more delay. Consider liking and subscribing and turning on the notification bell if you want to see more videos and all that yada yada you already know. But I've also since become like a musical artist. I've posted some like dark ambient projects on Spotify and Apple Music and all that. It's called Anadone, and there's some links in the description if you're interested. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Starting off with number 5, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Funny story behind this game, I actually got it back during COVID. I was sick with COVID and I wanted a good long game to play, so I got Xenoblade. I got like 4 hours in and the combat was too complicated for my little brain, so I turned it off. But since Xenoblade X was announced, I tried to finish the game, and I did. And it was amazing. Xenoblade is an amazing game. If you haven't played it and you have like 30 or so hours on your hand, I recommend this game 100%. Every single character is amazingly written. The story really surprised me because it was amazing. It was like a book story. It has so many layers to it. I've never played a video game with as deep of a story as this one. Like, the most story I've had in a video game before this was like Super Paper Mario, and that game is also an amazing game. I recommend that game to everybody too, but it's not Xenoblade. The game has a really fun combat system. It didn't bore me as the game went on, and for a 30-hour game, it's pretty easy to get boring at some times, but Xenoblade never bored me. The game just has like really good pacing. There are some chapters that are like not as good as others, but overall the quality of the game is very consistent. Next up is Splatoon 3, and if I said this is the best thing to happen to multiplayer gaming ever, something about Splatoon just grabbed me. Ever since I played Splatoon 2, this series has had me in a chokehold. I know every character, all the lore, I've played every game, and I own so much Splatoon merchandise, it's crazy. And yeah, Splatoon 3 is the best game in the series. Of course, it's a bit iterative, I think that's the word. It's very similar to Splatoon 2, but don't fix what ain't broke. Of course, I probably would have preferred Splatoon 3 to be saved for the Switch 2 generation, but seeing how long the gap was from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2, I think it was the right move to release Splatoon 3. It's just a shame that the updates were cut after only 2 years. I really think there's more expanding that can happen with this game. Maybe a Switch 2 edition? Like, Splatoon 3 with mouse controls sounds amazing. But yeah, if you haven't played Splatoon, play Splatoon. This has some seriously addicting multiplayer gameplay that the horrible Nintendo Switch Online service didn't even bother me. And even if you aren't a PvP person, Splatoon has some very in-depth side modes like Salmon Run, which is PvE, and the 2 single-player campaigns, one of them being a roguelike. Crazy. At number 3, we have Breath of the Wild. Now, I was really debating if I should have done Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, but I think Breath of the Wild is the right choice. This was the first game to come out with the Switch, and technically it's a Wii U game, but nobody classifies it as a Wii U game. This is a Switch game through and through, and it is an amazing game. What is there to say about Breath of the Wild that hasn't already been said? It revolutionized open world games, and it turned the Zelda formula on its head for the better or for the worse. It's a bit harder to look at this game in a post-Tears of the Kingdom world and a post-Elden Ring world, I guess. But Breath of the Wild is still an amazing game. Like, nothing will undermine its greatness. Except for maybe the Divine Beasts. Those suck. But the DLC one was good. Next up at our number 2, we have Metroid Prime Remastered. This was another one I was kind of debating in my head. It was either going to be this or Metroid Dread, but I think Prime Remastered is probably the best choice. Prime was revolutionary at its time. It translated Metroid perfectly into 3D. The exploration, the puzzles, the combat, everything just works. And all of its oh my god, I got a voice crack. And all of its greatness is made even better by the Switch port. It has some beautiful graphics, like insane graphics. And this is running at 60 frames. On a Switch? Like, have you seen what the Switch does? It chugs on Nintendo's games. Like, there's not really more to say that hasn't already been said. Prime was a perfect game when it came out, and the Switch version just made it even better. That's why it's my second favorite game. Well, for now, because Prime 4 is coming and it looks absolutely amazing, but I'm going to count that as a Switch 2 game. Oh my god, I can't wait. Before I get to my number 1 spot, I'd like to just put out a couple honorable mentions. Of course, there's Metroid Dread, which was gonna be in Prime's spot, but I think Prime was the right choice. I also have the 1000 Year Door. It was either going to be this or Xenoblade, and I think overall I like Xenoblade better. 1000 Year Door is still an amazing 10 out of 10 game. It would have been like number 6. Tears of the Kingdom, oh my god, this was my most divisive game. I think it's an amazing game, amazing gameplay, but everything it takes from Breath of the Wild and everything that got worse with it, it just bogs down the experience for me. We also have Mario Odyssey and Animal Crossing. Overall, some really good games, but I think they just pale in comparison to the ones I chose. Some other notable games for me are Smash Ultimate. Love that game. It's just fighting games aren't really like my primary genre. There's also all of the Xenoblade games. Obviously, if you have time, play all of the Xenoblade games. They're absolutely amazing. For other third-party games I primarily played on Switch, we have Arkham City. Amazing. Probably the best superhero game ever created, and the Switch port is pretty decent. It's pretty good. There's also Sonic X Shadow Generations, which Sonic Generations is already an amazing game. Shadow Generations, 10 out of 10. It's probably one of my favorite games of 2024. And lastly, we have Minecraft. Pretty weird to put the Switch version, but it's the most time I put into a game, and yeah, it fell off. The more years I played it, the worse and worse it got. It's just the curse of it being Minecraft Bedrock. Hopefully there's a Switch 2 version. I mean, it feels like Minecraft was born for the Switch, so to have it running so bad, it's just disappointing. Anyways, my number 1 was Pikmin 4. Wow. 2023 was an amazing year for gaming. I played Tears of the Kingdom, and I was like, how could it possibly get better than this? Then Pikmin 4 came out, and yeah, it's amazing. The gameplay was just perfected in this. Everything feels so fluid, and the new camera angle does a lot for the environments. And wow, those environments, like, this game is pushing the Switch to its limits. Everything looks beautiful. Really, my only complaint with this game is its difficulty and its tutorials, but it's so well designed that I'm able to look past that. Seriously, if you can play Pikmin 4, play Pikmin 4. And yeah, that's it for the video. It wasn't a very in-depth look, but I can definitely return to most of these games in the future. I just really wanted to get something out before the Switch 2, and maybe spark some discussion in the comments, like, what is your favorite Switch game? Anyways, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you for watching this far in the video, and if you want some more videos, be sure to subscribe. Goodbye, and stream my music.